Good evening and welcome to tonight's Camp Wannakiki Talent Show.
Today, our campers will be earning their Camp Spirit Badge.
Earlier today, our campers battled the camp spirit by imbibing some camp spirits.
And tonight, on the talent show stage, they will not only be presenting spooky looks, but also telling us their spooky ghost stories.
Ruthie, are you ready to be spooked?
Let's get spooky and kooky.
Well, let's start the show.
Yay!
Did you know that the bottom of the lake at Camp Wannakiki is infested with leeches? For years, campers have managed to avoid getting bit by leeches because they followed the one cardinal rule of swimming: no peeing in the lake. The sudden warmth can alert the leeches, and they will suck the campy can-do attitude right out of you. Years ago, Shy Sydney was a quiet little camper at Camp Wannakiki. She could not wait to spend her summer at camp and away from her no-good, gold-digging leech of a stepmother who had recently married into the family. Although Shy Sydney was a little quiet, she was the ideal camper, except for one thing. Shy Sydney had shy kidneys. No matter how hard she tried, she just couldn't pee. She tried to take a whiz on the cabin toilet lids, but communal bathrooms just weren't her thing. It wasn't until the last day of camp that Shy Sydney had success. On the last day, all the campers got to swim in the lake one final time. And for Sydney, this time would truly be her last. She let her wee go free. But her relief didn't last long. The leeches woke up in utter bliss at the smell of her piss, but they were hungry for blood. They swam up and latched on to Shy Sydney, whose screams were too quiet to alert the lifeguards. The leeches dragged her down to the bottom of the lake and ate her alive, and now she haunts her no-good, gold-digging leech of a stepmother. So the next time you feel the lake water at Camp Wannakiki get warm, swim away. Better yet, just go to Camp Wannakiki. In their lake, it's okay to wanna pee-pee.
Have you ever heard the tale of the dancing ghost? It's little more than a campfire legend. But rumor has it that if you find yourself alone in the woods, pondering the great mysteries of life, you might see it. Just a cute little sheet ghost with a misshapen smile, dancing in the moonlight, giggling as whispers fill your ears. Pull the sheet. Pull the sheet. Do you dare to pull the sheet? For this little ghost hides a dark and terrible secret. There she screams forever! The woman, the monster, not dancing but writhing in pain, not giggling but screaming. Or is she smiling? Is she enjoying her torment? And now she sees you. She sees you and you cannot escape, for now you know the horrible truth, that the woman inside was you, all along. Yes, you! But we are all doomed to madness when we see the truth. And amongst the all-seeing eyes you will stay trapped forever. And though you shall scream, all anyone will hear is a little giggle. So, do you dare to pull the sheet? Or will you dare to make a difference?
On a starry night, much like this one, Camp Counselor Ruthie looked at the Sugarbaker twins and thought to herself, I wish I had a twin, and looked upward and made said wish on a shooting star. Little did she know, her wish had summoned the mysterious star straight to Camp Wannakiki. Plummeting from a campy can-do altitude, it crashed into the lake in the dead of night. Crawling onto the beach, an extraterrestrial creature emerged. Ruthie's wish had come true. Her twin had arrived. A voracious, intergalactic, body-snatching shapeshifter. Not entirely sure if it had matched all of the Wishmaker's features perfectly, but hey, not all twins do. That night, while Ruthie was watching over the campers, and once everyone had gone to bed, the doppelganger made its way to the cabins, peeking in on the slumbering campers. It went to the door. Oh, campers, it's time to earn a badge. The alien unhinged its jaw and waited for the unsuspecting campers to step outside and straight into its toxic gullet. Just before the first camper could set foot inside, the alien was struck from behind by none other than the real Ruthie herself, who had made it just in time. The corpse was dropped into the lake, and a vow was made never to speak of this again. The takeaway? Be careful what you wish for, campers.
Gather round and I'll tell you a tale of the fair old witch. Once upon a time there lived an old woman named Sarah. She loved children and would invite all the local town children to come visit her in her cottage. She was known to bake lovely breads and decorated sweets. One day, when Sarah was walking back from the town to her cottage in the woods, she discovered that someone had broken into her home, stole all of her baked goods, and destroyed her home. Sarah started to run back to town and report what had occurred, only to be met by the furious townspeople. You see, the town believed that Sarah had poisoned all the children, as they all fell gravely ill after eating at her cottage. The townspeople tied Sarah to a tree and burned her. As Sarah's body burned, she placed a curse on the town, saying, "I will seek revenge on all of your bloodlines." Legend has it that Sarah's ghost haunts these very woods, looking to lure children with baked goods to their doom.
One night at a camp just like Camp Wannakiki, there were two campers who were bunkmates, and they decided to make a potty trip together before bed. They headed down to the Porto Potties, which were a 5-minute stroll from their cabin. One of the campers sat down to poop, and the toilet seat snapped in half. They fell down into the poopy pit, and upon impact snapped their neck and died instantly. The other camper finished and went outside, and their friend was nowhere to be seen. No response was heard as their name was called out repeatedly into the dark and chilling air. It became apparent that they were alone. But because they were a loyal friend, they waited all night long. The next day, the counselors gathered a search party with the state rangers, but still no one could locate either of the missing campers. Years pass. It has become a regular occurrence for campers to disappear during nighttime. Rumors begin spreading that pooping at night is a death sentence. Every death was somehow linked to the outhouse area. Well, you see, between us, the camper who fell down into the poop pit died in such a nasty and gross way that their spirit never left the earth realm. In fact, it ended up inhabiting an old tree that was next to where the other camper disappeared. That tree demon vowed to murder anyone who poops after sundown. As soon as the tree demon hears the initial fart of the bowel movement, a razor-sharp branch will sprout out of the toilet seat and impale the pooper up the butthole. Rumor has it that the tree demon's branches reek of turds from all their filthy murders. So, remember kids, clench your holes tight when you go out walking at night.
We have all heard of Muffy Fishbasket from Season 1, right? Muffy, after not winning Season 1, was confronted by Ruthie on the dock. She was found to be a spy for Camp Wannakiki. There was a scuffle with Ruthie, y'all, and no one knows what really happened. But legend has it, when campers are told to take a hike and they walk off into the dark, that Mummy Fishbasket creeps out of her grave from under the dock to capture and recruit more sad campers into Wannakiki. For hoops that once turned tricks, now she uses to capture the kids. If you're ever told to take a hike, your fate is sealed. Because if they don't sacrifice a camper every week, Mummy Fishbasket will haunt all 3 of our leaders forever. Only one of us makes it out alive. Your doom may be sealed. Just say no to hikes.
It was a dark and stormy night. Who are we kidding? It was cool and breezy. Quite comfortable if you ask me myself. Anywho, the bats were flying high, the weather was crisp, a perfect day to piss me off. I came home from a nature hike. I'm just kidding, I don't hike, you already know that. Discovered my man doing the unthinkable. He was doing something so terrible I couldn't wrap my mind around it. He was eating a s'mores at the picnic table knowing damn well I'm on keto. I was in such a state of shock. My spirit was seriously disturbed. All I remember is rushing to the kitchen like a white woman, finding out pumpkin spice was back in season, and yelling, "Oh no, not in my house, in front of my salad!" I grabbed the first object I saw, a ketchup packet. No, I grabbed the second object I saw, a toothpick. Yes, a toothpick. I head back to my man, who is now licking the sweet, melted chocolate off his fingers. "What are you doing?" I screamed. He stared at me puzzled, like a man getting the COVID vaccine in Florida. Through the silence, I took the toothpick and jammed it into his hand, giving him the worst splinter of his life. Not knowing he was allergic to wood. Yes, a wood allergy. And then he died. Which I truly did not give a fuck, because technically, I'm the real victim here, because during his allergic reaction, he managed to knock over a bookshelf before dying. It was a mess. I had to clean it up. This is how I became known as the Black Widow finger-licking, not in my house, splinter killer, skinny legend wife.
Once, there was a drag queen dressing room that looked like any other drag queen dressing room. It had 4 walls with questionable stains, a mirror with mysterious stains, and a makeup table with cum stains. All was as it should be. Or was it? No! It was stained! And it was haunted. One night, a tragic drag queen arrived early for... Wait, that can't be right. A tragic drag queen arrived on time for... No, I can't say that with a straight face. A tragic drag queen arrived just 30 minutes past call time. She placed her bags and her glamorous bracelets in the dressing room, then went to get a cocktail. When she came back from the bar, her glamorous bracelets were gone. She turned to her dear sisters who had just arrived. "Which one of you rotted trolls stole my bracelets with your dirty troll man hands?" The queens were silent, the bracelets nowhere to be found. That night, the tragic drag queen performed without bracelets. The next night, the tragic drag queen returned to see if her glamorous bracelets would turn up on one of her dear sister's chubby biscuit can-shaped wrists. She walked in to find a pitiful drag queen sobbing into her hip pads. "My bracelets! My beautiful cheap bracelets! They were right here and I turned away for just a short blowjob and now they're gone!" The haunted dressing room had struck again. The tragic and pitiful drag queens came up with a plan. They placed a red bracelet on the end of some fishing wire and waited around the corner with the fishing pole in hand. When the thieving queen went to steal the bracelet, they would reel her in and catch her red bracelet handed. They waited and waited, but never felt a tug. After waiting for an entire 5 minutes, they got bored and went to get drinks. And when they came back, the fishing wire had been cut and the bracelet was gone. The haunted dressing room had struck yet again. And even to this very day, they never caught me. I mean, the bracelet ghost of the haunted dressing room.
Through the fog, you hear his footsteps. A specter from the past, a shadow of the halls of saloons and places of ill repute. His Christian name so sullied, no one spoke it, and therefore lost to time. We don't know when he was born, but well, we don't know when he died either. Never did find a body. But tonight, on the first full moon of camp, the trapper stalks the woods, hunting his prey. Because some fucking literate bitch from Camp Wannakiki read the resurrection spell in a book beneath the floorboards of Bunk 8. Wow. Way to go, Kendra. And now he's coming for you. He loves to tear beautiful things limb from limb, feasting on the flesh of his kills, and tucks away a keepsake of each one. Ah! Read. Prepare yourselves. Wear talismans of these 3 things: cliffhanger heels, unwashed hip pads, and a shake-and-go wig. It will repel him. Well, just about anyone, really. Keep him at bay until dawn, and you'll still be alive. Well, that is until next summer, when he shall rise again for his next victim. And who knows, it might be you.
Legend has it that there is a suspiciously large woman who lives in these woods. Her name is said to be Selena Sasquatch. Selena is said to come out at night. She comes out to search for her late brother, who she believes is still alive. One night, while venturing off on her search, she finds a camp of cross-dressers called Camp Wannakiki. She stumbles upon the campfire where the campers are roasting her brother. She gets taken over by a fit of rage and plucks 2 mysteriously tall women with ginormous black hair and growls in their face. She screams, "Murderer! You killed my brother!" The 2 women, who look strangely alike, look at each other in fear and squeak, "We thought he was an orphan." This statement pissed Selena off so much she held them above the roaring campfire and let go. She then started grabbing campers right and left, devouring them like they were her brother's corpse. After she ate the last hip pad, she ran off into the forest to hide. It is said that whenever you set a campfire, to be cautious of your surroundings, because you never know when Selena Sasquatch will strike again. Ha 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 ha!